Hi everyone, today I'll be talking about Chapter 11 of our Drugs and Behavior textbook titled Caffeine, and I'll be going over the first quarter of the chapter, which is roughly pages 242 to 246. So today I'll be talking just about coffee. To start, the use of coffee spread to Egypt and other Arabic countries by the 1400s. It spread throughout the Middle East by the 1500s and into Europe by the 1600s. Coffee houses first began appearing in England in 1650 and in France in 1671. They were used to not only relax, but also to seal bargains and to plot. This made Charles II of England so nervous that he outlawed coffee houses. Both in 11 days, the law was withdrawn. And then in the 18th century, penny universities became a thing, where for a penny a cup, people could listen to and learn from great literary and political figures of the period. The English colonies also began drinking coffee, but tea was preferred. Coffee use expanded, however, as the West was won. Consumption increased in the early 1900s, especially during the prohibition of alcohol in the 1920s. In 1946, the annual per capita coffee consumption reached an all-time high of 20 pounds. However, today, Americans drink half that much coffee due to a variety of other drinks being available. The commercial roasting of coffee beans didn't start until 1790 in New York City. Before that, housewives and coffee house owners did it themselves. And then vacuum packaged ground coffee was introduced in 1900, which allowed ground coffee to last longer. And then coffee growing spread worldwide. The Dutch cultivated it in the East Indies in 1696, and Latin America had an ideal climate for growing coffee, and it became the world's largest producer. And because of the different varieties of coffee trees and the different growing and processing conditions, there are many opportunities to vary the characteristics of coffee and to vary the flavors of it. Virtually all coffee is made from two species. First, there is Caffea arabica. That has a milder flavor. It takes longer to develop after planting, and it requires a near tropical climate to grow properly. Because of this, it is more expensive and desirable. This is largely grown in Colombia. And then there's Caffea robusta, which has a stronger, more bitter flavor and a higher caffeine content. It's used in more inexpensive coffees and in instant coffee. Brazil, which is the largest coffee producer, produces both kinds of coffee. For the US in 2016, Brazil produced the most coffee, followed by Vietnam, Colombia, Indonesia, and Mexico and Central America. And then beginning in the early 1970s, health-conscious Americans started drinking coffee. They started drinking decaffeinated coffee. To remove caffeine from the coffee bean, unroasted beans are soaked in an organic solvent, usually methylene chloride. However, studies have shown that it can cause cancer. However, since residues don't exceed 10 parts per million, it is considered safe by the FDA.